And again, this is like a sort of a supplementary added lesson, because I'm going to do again tonight at 7 p.m, because I've been doing 10 a.m, 7 p.m, 10 a.m, 7 p.m to cover both sides of the globe.
Yep.
So this is as much an informal lesson as what it is my development through the challenge. So as I've been saying heaps, especially after the gig Friday night that Greg was at, the benefits from doing this become really profound when you're in a playing scenario and you actually feel the flow-on effect from the practice that you do at home. And that's obvious, but to actually experience it the way that I did on Friday was bizarre. It was different to ever before. Anyway, so let's get into it. I have set up, we are stuck with phone, but I've improved it. We're going through some speakers. So set at 60, 4 beats in, 4 beats out.
Yep.
It's not going through the speakers.
Oh, no, it isn't.
I don't know why I'm having all these metronome issues. I don't understand. Why the hell is that not working?
Is it plugged in properly?
Well, look, we tested it. Worked
30
seconds ago.
There we go.
Fair income. 4 beats in. Cool. That's one clip too loud, I reckon.
When I'm doing that, I try to concentrate on not tensing, and is that relaxed?
Yep.
And that part of the throat, I find it tightens.
Yeah,
If I'm not,
absolutely.
I sort of try to mentally look at that.
That's because, and Greg raises the point, well, one of the two main points is, make sure you can be heard there. It's on pretty hot, so when we play I want to keep it away, but
Yeah.
it's obviously the opening up of the concert hall, expanding the instrument back into the body, and two, creating an awareness. We had a great moment last week where the further we went along, Greg was tight and tight. And I'm like, hey, whoa. Imagine the feeling of the breathing bag. And he went and played and unlocked it all. So it's an awareness of this that everyone needs to have. That's the point. If you've got an awareness of it, of what you want to feel like, then when you compromise that when you're playing, you're able to pick it and let it go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So this time let's do that triplet. So it's out, in.
Yep.
2, 3. So we're practicing getting the entire lung capacity from bag here into lungs, full capacity in one beat. And you can do it over and over and over with hyperventilating. It's the benefit of doing these. Now we're going to go into eighth notes.
Yeah.
Awesome. So it's just stretching everything out. Out. Now I'm just going to do a couple of the Voldine. So again, I'm going to try and keep it in the best part. So yesterday, out of the blue, I started hitting the 5,000 mark after the first 3 weeks. It was just, I'm topped at 4.5.
Yeah.
And then a couple of days last week, at the end of last week, I started to get to the 4,750. Yesterday, so let's see what happens today. No idea. That was 4,500. It's getting up there. So it's getting close. So there's a marked development there from the first 3 weeks. So the first thing we do, this is what I've been doing every day. The first thing we do. Good. Then eyes closed, soft, slow breath. So if you haven't got the breathing bag, again, if you're a brass player, wind player, and you haven't experienced what we're feeling using the rubber bag, you're missing out. It's akin to madness. You want to play the horn, doesn't matter which one, but you're not expanding, you're not opening up. It just doesn't make sense to not do it. But then that one there, back of the tongue's down, throat's open, opening up the body's concert hall. If you don't know what I'm talking about by now, you're too far ahead. You need to go and do the Largo stage of the course and work through it all. Watch the first 3 weeks. Then the 4 steps, converting that into the voice and then onto the horn. So, just finding the airflow required. We want the lips to sympathetically oscillate with the air. We want them to interact with the air as if they're the vocal cords. So therefore, what does it feel like to hum a note? So, can you hear the difference in your sound?
Yeah, I know.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
And it transfers into the horn.
Again, if I can relate what happened last week, and when I went home, the first thing, the next day, in fact, I think when I got home, I did it. I just went, let
it drop. Yeah, right.
Let it drop. So,
the reason.
And then if I didn't get that,
there you go.
there was, and it was letting these just drop down.
So if you're watching, and I got so many stories about the importance of this, but this one I laughed because it's freaking nuts, right? Today's the day, the first time I've heard you get that
straight away.
What it's been, and what I'll do when I get some time down the track is go through Greg's lessons that we've recorded here,
Yeah.
and demonstrate Can you make the sound with your voice that you're making up until today?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, nah, it didn't even have that. It was
No,
more of a ha.
Yeah.
It was back in the throat
yeah,
because you're engaged here.
Yeah.
That's good. Don't do it.
No.
We don't want it to revert back. All of a sudden, he's opened up this bit. Down in here, right? That will absolutely transfer into the quality of sound. Absolutely 100%.
Well, I'll say too, I feel that the tension I had came in there.
Yep.
And it was always there and I never knew it.
Yep.
Until
It was always there, but I never knew it.
Yeah. And then when I let it go, and it was a matter of doing this. I didn't tongue it. I didn't put my tongue there.
Right.
I just put the air.
So the breath attack opened it
I
up.
let the air just blow through. I didn't care what it came out.
Yep.
That was the important factor. I didn't care what was going to come out. I said, just
Copy the feeling. Yeah. Love it.
sorry. And then I concentrated on
You opened your corners.
the
Yep.
corners coming in, and it just refined it.
Without having a flow on negative effects
Yeah,
back
yeah,
in the neck.
Yeah.
I've got all over the site on just about all the introduction videos. It's finding inefficiency that you didn't realise was there. You know, I haven't got Greg here as a trained monkey. You know, we're going through this. If I wasn't doing the challenge, we wouldn't be filming it. It's the process that we'd be going through in the lessons. We've just, for the sake of this 5 weeks, we're adding the progress charts in. But a lot of our work has been, because Greg's recovering from a bike accident, was a trumpet player, so he's relearning on trombone, and it's getting all this negative tension out of the way. And I had an in-depth conversation with someone last night about the fact that I don't care if it sounds good, I want it to be right as far as process goes. And all the issues that people are having. We're trying to find, we're looking deep within the system. Even if you're a top player, generally the people that I speak to are pros, you know, in either in their hometowns or touring, that want to throw their instruments. They're unsatisfied because they've got all this negative tension in their playing. They don't recognise why it's happening or where it is, why it's happening, or how to get rid of it. Where, again, it makes me laugh because we've been working on it for a while, and then something clicked last week on his drive back to Brisbane. He turns up today and goes, with a sound that's never been there before. So he's unlocked something. And this is what we all want to do. And it's, again, I laugh because it's right there, you know. And everyone's going to find a different process to unlock that, to find it. It doesn't matter what your process is. It's just finding what works for you, as long as you know what you're looking for. And it's the, again, I'm going to say it, I want the lips to interact with the air as if they're the vocal cords. And when you shut your eyes and you recognise passive reduction, it's bound to happen eventually, wasn't it? I'll do that in slow motion as a promo video. Here's another one. See if we can do that again. Okay, there's the lungs. Effortless air in, breathing bag. Now, if we relax, I'm talking to you like this. There it is. And if you can recognise how easy it is to hum, there's the feeling that we want to have when we're playing. So in order to get from the hum onto the horn, Greg's got his visualizer and tissue there, which is great, as do I. So we've done our hum. We've opened the jaw. Drawn the corners in. Ooh. Then bring it nice and close. Can you go again? Just make sure it's just tongue. better. There was a little bit of kick
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
the first time round, but not the second time.
Yeah.
And it just shows that instinctively there are things there that are still wide, and we have to consciously make the decision to let it go. And it'll get to the point where, for me now, to tongue and kick feels ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right? It's an independent movement of the tongue. There you go. It's releasing. You don't need to squeeze the balloon for the air to come out. You don't need to squeeze the body for the air to come out. Expansion, reduction, there's passive and there's active. At this stage, it's passive, meaning we're not doing anything, we're relaxing. Active would be to engage the abdominal muscles and the intercostal muscles, everything squeezes in. But we don't want to be doing that at the moment. And then when we engage that later for louder notes and longer notes, do we compromise that feeling? That's the essence of everything. Everything. Rightio? So then we add rim. Good, it's better. When you've been grabbing and kicking air for years and years and years and years, it's tough to let go of.
Yeah.
And then soon as the visualizer came up, because it's sending a message back here to the programming, we're going to get into player mode now. We're about to start playing. Oh, we're about to start playing. Oh, cool. This is how we play. No. What did we just do before without the visualizer? Simply add visualizer, don't change process. It is the fingers up off the balloon. So there was a little bit of activity there.
Yeah.
See if you can let go of that. That's better. And instantly you did that and you let go,
Yeah.
there's more impact on the
I could
tissue.
feel-
It's more power.
Close my eyes so I could concentrate on it.
Close your eyes.
But
Close your
can I
eyes.
say too, it's like
Getting the air to the lips is a really
and
weird
hold it,
thing for
just
people.
blocking the tongue is here.
Right. So even when it's holding the air back, and this is what a lot of people have problems with, psychologically, they go, when you stop the air,
You tighten that.
you tighten up. You don't have to.
No, let it go.
You got to let it go. And there are plenty of playing not opportunities is not the word that I'm after. There are plenty of playing times. There's my amazing vocabulary kicking in again, where you need to stop the air with the tongue. And there's teachers that will swear you never ever stop the air with the tongue. It's nonsense, it's rubbish, and it's BS. You have to, stylistically at times, stop the air with the tongue. I know recently up here, a teacher said, now stop the air with the tongue and release the air. And another music teacher stood up in the classroom and said, kids, ignore what he just said to another teacher. You never stop the air with the tongue. And said that to a classroom of kids in front of the other teacher. It's so wrong on so many levels. So I sent him across a few videos at his request, the guy who said stop the tongue, because he was rattled by it. And I've gone, you have to. And whilst if you stop the air with your lips or with your tongue, instinctively you might go into a bit of Valsalva, a bit of closed throat, but as Greg just demonstrated, you don't have to. And when you're playing live television show, and at any second you're going to get an upbeat and play, you're set. You've preset volume, you've preset shape, and then it's just a release. It happens all the time. So to say that you never stop the air with your tongue is complete and utter nonsense and needs to be eliminated from the psyche of humans across the brass and wind playing planet, because it's wrong. And feel free to send a comment or take me up on it, and I'll explain. Or even better, just work through the course. It's all there. over and over and over and over and over. Rightio, so once you've done, let's do it just a couple more times, just to make sure you've really locked the feeling and no kick. There's something going on there. Let the shoulders go. Let the air, right? Just watch for this. It's not 100%. There's a bit of.
I need to work on that one.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Because one of the main things is at the top of the breath. Check it out. You're going, and you're holding up there.
Yeah.
You got to let it go. Let 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 go. There. Right. That's better. And the back of the tongue's doing something, because there was almost a couple of times that. So the tongue's up near the soft palate. It's better. And
I've got to think down.
I was about to say, can you do that again for me? Because you've lost that, right? So maintain that. Cool. Alrighty, let's get on to lead pipe. So again, now I've got stuff everywhere here. We're energizing air in the pipe when we're playing. We're not blowing through the instrument. There's already air in a trumpet, in a trombone. I mean, this is a great demonstration. There's air in here. All we're doing that is energizing that air. About 5% of the energy that we use is emitted in sound. The rest is lost to friction or keeping the sound wave alive. And a demonstration. Now, if I put tissue here on a low register note, you can't quite see. So it's moving a little bit. If I play a high harmonic, so if you put your hand out like that, Greg, so you can feel low register note, you can feel some flow.
Yeah. Hardly any.
You can't feel anything moving.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. And the big problem that we have with brass playing is squeezing the lips together and blowing too hard. We're not blowing the sound out. If we were blowing the sound out through the bell, it would sound like. We're not doing that. We're letting the lip oscillate freely, sympathetically, on the change of air pressure. Thanks to after a breath and the body relaxes, we're compressing the air molecules, so they've got potential energy that want to move, and it comes out naturally, and it hits the pipe and hits the resistance of atmospheric pressure at the end of the bell here, and it bounces, and it just does this, and the lips do that. Right?
Yeah.
You got it. Good. So, the exact, just with the mouthpiece firstly, the same thing that we were just doing on the rim. Then add lead pipe. Good. Up and down a little bit. So the things I'm watching out for here is that's all staying loose.
Yep.
When he's changing pitch going up, there's no engagement from the body. It's just an independent movement of the mouth without an engagement of the body. And just go to that point where Yeah. Because once we start getting past that point, when you go to get up into that harmonic, there is where you can really trigger the body to want to force it and push it over kick it. So you can do it over time. In fact, I haven't tried doing this, but so you can play chromatically on there, but you need good aperture corner control, and generally the instrument will throw the lips around. Yeah, cool. All right, let's get onto the horn. So we're E to A this week. Cool.
Yep.
Oh, for goodness sake. So there's still a bit of lip in there where I want to get that that you had when you were singing. Right, I'm just finding our little tuner here because you're lipping it under, but I don't have perfect pitch, so I don't want to say that I'm spot on. While I'm finding it, check this out. It's getting there. Still quite under. Put over there. Can you go again? Oops. Yeah, so check it out. So we can put more lip in there and get that lippy kind of sound, or we can lower the jaw a little bit, open everything out and let go even more of the oscillator and find those corners. Jaw low, but keep the corners. That's better. Okay, let's taking turns. Yep. So again, have a listen to how I go. Jaw down, letting war come through. Yep. So let's go up. So Right, so that F is still under. Still working on getting that up to pitch. What do I do with the metronome? Oops. Let's just have another peek at that one. Now tick. Right.
It's the corners.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the whole trick, is getting the corners.
What tuner is that?
It's a good one. Plus add, I think. Jess, if you're watching, hi, how you going? I'm not sure that you're watching, but if you are, awesome. I'm great, thank you. How are you guys? Tuner plus add.
Plus add.
Tuner P2U2. I'll take a picture of it and messenger it to you. All right, let's now begin our journey of the harmonic slur challenge. So if we go back to I just want to go back to week 3 and check out around. So we were doing 8th notes or 16ths?
16ths. We started at 16ths.
All right, cool.
Last week.
Yep. Where are we? There we go. So 116. So let's go around the. Let's start at 84.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we're just going to get one beat.
Yep.
Of 16ths. There you go, and hopefully this will work. Of course it won't. I freaking love my life sometimes. We tested it before we came on here. Oh, great, perfect. Run it through the speaker, sounds terrific. Okay, so there is an instant stop.
Yeah.
Grab, even when you went to talk then, you went, yep, tissue. That's what it feels like. Although wah 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 is actually, it's the lip. Wah wah wah. I'm doing it up in first, but. It's better. So can I get you to just do this for me? Go. Oh, sorry. That's the feeling of it. Okay, and it's sort of swinging. It's going.
Yeah.
Da 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 da. All right, so I want to go back to, let's go back to 60, because that is proving problematic to start there.
Yeah.
So, da 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 da, do wa wa, Okay, so instantly we can tell. Sorry, I keep cutting you off, but it's really, there's a lot of really interesting things going on here. That we're getting higher on the pitch, so people will think if we're doing it down on the D flat, then all the way up to the E, there's no difference. There's a big difference in shape, isn't there? It's a big feeling difference. And when the note isn't triggered by the lip, do, and that top note doesn't click up, then all panic stations kick in and the cavalry arrives in the form of abdominal compression, which is going to create back pressure in the throat. The breath gets tightened and everything moves away from the essence of and the feeling of humming and singing. Where if I check out, if I hum first, that's the same feeling completely. No more energy than that. Da ya ya ta wa wa. Almost. Just a little bit slow off the mark. Okay, let's go to 2. Cool. 4. Really nail the beat. Just a bit behind. Yeah, still not landing that beat, 4th beat. That's it. You got to keep moving along, keep the momentum up. 8. Don't rush. Don't rush. Good. Have a rest. Have a rest. Have a rest. Have a rest. I'll go 5 seconds. Cool. And you can hear as we're doing it, the sound is tending to get back into that. Which is just much better. So that's the whole point of the challenge, is to recognize it as we start going faster or going for longer, that things start to really tighten up. But we don't want to do that. We want to keep it open. Yeah. And you can hear and feel the difference instantly when you got the lips out of the way, 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 got the lips out of the way. Did I mention getting the lips out of the way? It's just we fall into that trap of let's get the lip out of the way, find the aperture corners. Rightio, so let's go for 10 seconds. So it was a bit wobbly at the start, but I know that he can do it. If we were just sitting here practicing we'd do it again and get it really nailed. But for the sake of the stream here, we'll keep moving. But I won't be as forgiving for 15 seconds. But what we didn't do, I neglected to do something. Now, the preparatory exercise, but also before that, what I've been doing every single day is a long tone. We didn't do our long tone, so we're going to jump back very quickly and just do that. So this is, what we're working on is getting the oscillator to survive, but still keep vibrating on the most minimal amount of air pressure from the body. So we're going to go for as long as we absolutely can. Now, yesterday, on trumpet, I was struggling for ages around the 55 mark, and then hit 60, and then last week there was a minute 5 or a minute 10. Yesterday, a minute 18, one long tone. So that shows the expansion, the recognition in the body of things starting to open up. So that's what we're after today. So let's just go. I'll watch the stopwatch. You go for as long as you can. Big breath, long tone. I'll just stop you for a second. Let's do it on E.
E?
Yeah. Good. Yeah, that's good. That's come along.
What did I do?
35, almost 40.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, it's better.
I was going to get 25 last week.
Yeah. And so what I want to demonstrate now is, and I mean, I know my threshold. I don't want you to hyperventilate or pass out here, especially on live streaming. I'm not going to give you CPR. You don't get asthma?
Nope.
No. So asthmatics don't do this. Emptying the lungs is really bad and can trigger an asthma attack. But what we can do to get even more is we're going to lower, and you're good because you're going beyond where the brain wants to take a breath, and you're going, no, there's more air, I'm going to keep going. And we can get even a bit more if we lower the carbon dioxide levels in the brain. We can actually go for a bit longer. So in order to do that, it's almost verging on hyperventilating, but I'm not going to get dizzy. Right? So I made the minute mark, which I don't think I did last week.
Yeah.
No.
40 last week.
Yeah, right. Things are changing. It's cool. So now with that, let's go back into the harmonic slur challenge.
Yeah.
With that feeling of just... All right, 2 beats. 4. Great, much better. 8. So let's say that was 5. Let's go for 10 seconds now. Keep going. Have a rest. All right, you got your 15. Well done. That was instantly, obviously, way more in control.
Yeah.
Sound was starting to open up, and the control was a heck of a lot better. Great. Let's move on. Let's go up to, say, 72. All right, so we're jumping right ahead. Normally the same, the first day of the week, which obviously it's the second day of the challenge, but Greg, it's his first day of the next week. Go through and do each one until we find our limit, but we're going to jump ahead just for time's sake up to 72. Same approach. 1 beat. Dotty, dotty, dot. We'll take in turns. Off you go. It's a bit behind. Good. 2 beats.
Sorry.
Okay, so there's just relax your trick. There's too much going on.
Yep.
It's a bit behind. Yeah, let's go back to 1 beat. It's just a bit behind. Let's do the preparatory exercise. So all it is, and people will find this weird, I don't mind. Wah, wah, wah. If you go wah, 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 but nail the
Wah, wah.
wah, wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah. Wah, wah, wah.
Rightio.
Wah.
So why am I doing that? The woo is aperture corners engaged. Wah is the release. So we're getting the bottom note, wah, right? So we're starting off on the ah, and then when we go ah, ooh, look what's happening. Ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh. So there is an independent movement of the mouth without engaging the body. That change of the mouth will change the overtone that just speaks through the horn. So then if I go ah, wah, wah, it's going dotty, dotty, dot. So then there is the movement 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dotty, dotty, dot. Wah, wah, wah. Right? So if you can feel wah, 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 then turn the voice off.
Wah, wah, wah. Wah, wah, wah.
Then turn the voice off. Nail the beat. Right. Then you can do it on the visualizer and the lead pipe as well, but just getting the body to feel that movement of the mouth. There's your change. Almost. Right. That was nailed. Yes. It's behind. Yeah, it's behind by the second beat there. Right. Cancel. Right, you've got to just, constantly move forward to stay up on that beat. It just wants to keep dropping back. So you went for longer. You could tell that it skyrocketed off, and then you came back and came back. I really want to make sure that you're in control of each beat, really locking it in. Oops. There's no doubt that it's going to hit that beat.
Yeah.
And it's the tiniest,
Yeah.
right at the aperture corners, just squeezing down a little bit. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's tiny movement. And that's what we're looking to do, is bring the harmonics closer and closer and closer together. Less movement, less movement, less movement. Tiniest change in the aperture corners there, without pinching in the middle of the lip, without choking the body off, to stimulate that next tone. Physically, it's actually really easy to do once you know the shape of it. It's tiny movement is what we're looking for, without any flow back of body panic. What does it feel like to hum and sing? Make it feel like that. Right, so nail the time. Got to start. Bang. Yeah, aim it. Exactly. Alright, so you almost got to the 15, but it started to pull back. So,
But I could feel that, concentrate more on that.
Yeah. Tiny.
Tiny,
Yeah. Righto, let's go ahead now, because we'll leave you with some space to go. We don't want to break all of our records on day one. Let's go up to 80, was it 82? 88. So, wah, wah, wah is all it is. Wah, wah, wah. No.
Wah, wah, wah. Okay.
Yeah, because you've got the wah, ooh, is the ooh is the second note, so it's wah, wah, wah. Da, 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 da.
Wah, wah, wah. Wah, wah, wah.
So can you say, sorry, before you play?
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah. Wah, wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah. Wah, wah, wah.
Yep, that's it.
Wah, wah, wah. We're doing 16s?
Yeah. Good. So, yeah, have a break in between each one of them, because and you hear your voice at the end, because you just each time you do it starts. Yeah, exactly. You're playing on stale air, and it's closing up in the throat.
Yeah.
So take a break between each one. It's like an enthusiastic teenager.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% convinced on the two beats. And just to touch on, because you said we're doing 16ths, right? And because you went into wah, 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 wah.
Yeah.
But again, think of the fact that the wah down,
Yeah.
then when you go wah, ooh, there's two notes. Wah, ooh.
Wow.
Then when you go back down again, wah is the third one. Up is four. Wah, ooh. Wah, wah, wah. That's wah, wah, wah. There. There it is. Da, wah, wah. Good. Okay, yeah, well, you're still falling into that trap of have a break each time. Oh, stop, 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 stop. Instrument down. Like literally take the horn down,
Yep.
empty the air out, get it in again.
Yep.
Because otherwise you're just building on.
Yeah.
So we got 2. Can we do 4? And then, regardless of how it goes, and stop, whether you nail it or whether you don't nail it. Horn down. Horn down. It's the hardest thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, sure is.
Okay, so they're behind. So just for the sake of the exercise, for 8 beats was, sorry, 1 beat. If I'm looking at 88, 1 beat was comfortable. Da 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 da. The 2 beats we got there, but you can tell that it's not natural. It's not. We're not in control of it, and it's wavering a lot, especially into the 2nd beat. So that's cool to recognise, right? And then we go away and get to the point where we can guarantee that we're going to nail the 1 beat, the 2 beats, the 4 beats. Yeah. So before we move to the next tempo, let's just do 1 beat again and really nail it. Wah wah wah, doi oi yot. Okay, so let's practice. Let's just practice this. As soon as you release the air, can you snap it even faster? The what? So there's a little bit of and and all this. It's tiny movement in the mouth. Dawut. This is not involved. Not involved. Dawut. Dawut. It's a little change, tweaking the aperture corners without affecting the body. He just said, I'm using the throat. I didn't have to say it. That's the go. Yeah, try and... You've clicked up before the note's even released. Yep. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Really looking for that late click. Good. That's the trick to work on. Because then instantly, even if we go, let's get up to Crazyville. You've got to get off to the flyer.
Yeah.
All right. So with that in mind, let's go back to. Almost. Starting late. And have a rest. Right. And there's still a build up. There is still a build up.
Yep.
Should never exist. So we're going to find again. Where's my magnifying glass? Where is that starting from? And you said before, I'm engaging my throat. You never engage your throat when you do this.
No.
So where does that get involved? It's got to go. It's got to go. It's got to go. It's got to go. You can hear again. I'm going to hum. Mm, and there's no engagement from the body. There's no at the end of it.
Yeah.
And remember, we're just tapping the air in the cup. If we've got the psychology of blowing through the horn, it's going to be and engage everything. But when you think of timpani, there's a timpani stick. And we're going to go rebound. We're not hitting it like a snare drum. We're going boo and letting the reflection come back into the body. Tap the air in the mouthpiece. You don't have to kick the air. Can you play me a long tone? That's interesting. That's actually really interesting. That's really interesting because what you were doing, the sound is really clear as. But consider if you hear that sound there, and then imagine what it would sound like as a long tone, you'd be imagining. But what happened then when I said, "Can you play me a long tone?" You've gone from, and then this happened, and it pulled back. Oh, keep it open. Support the sound passively, and then now long tone. Oh. Interesting. Yeah, you've gone way under. And that's just, you're just slipping it down a bit, so. Let's go again. So your E. Right. Big difference, right?
Yeah.
Huge. Yeah. Just something to be aware of. Let's move along. Let's find, we've covered everything we need to cover. So we're just going to find our speed limit here. So up to 92, is it? Wah, wah, wah. Da, ya, ya.
Wah, wah, wah. Wah, wah, wah.
Good. Horn down. 2 beats. Great. Horn down. So that was 3. And the throat locked at the end. Really controlled we're after, so let's go 4 again. Okay, so that just pulls back a little bit. Let's go up to 100. 1 beat. Wah, wah, wah. Again. Still swinging a little bit.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
That was it. That was actually really good. Not
Is that
quite.
3 or 4? No.
That's yeah. You've actually, all the time we've been doing this the last couple of weeks, you go 1, then 2, then 3, then 4.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's just a bit behind. All right, let's move up. 108. I know we'll do 104 because we're getting close to our limit here. Wow, wow, what? Really
Wow,
kept
wow.
forward. Yeah.
Wow, 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 wow.
That's good. Oops. 2 beats. Yeah, the 2 I wasn't really
Okay.
diddle up. They've got to be nice and even. There's just a bit of a swing in there.
Yeah.
Let's go up to 108. There it is. Day. Yeah. Yeah, great. Okay, let's move on. You got 1. This is what we're looking for. We can get 1, but we can't get 2. This is exactly the whole point. Got 1 beat, can't get 2 properly. And it's day 1 of the week, so we could spend more time on it, but for the sake of this. Now we keep searching for where we can't get 1 beat. Bow, wow, what? This is starting a bit early. Diddle diddle dit. Yeah, it's just
I can really feel it.
it's there, but it's not quite spot on. All right, 116. Yep. It's 11:30. Okay, so we could keep going and working on and cleaning those up, but it's still, I'm after the real, especially on the 1 beat. They'll what 4 really even notes, and you can tell that they just waver a little bit. You're obviously capable of doing it, and you can feel that it's just there.
Yeah.
But I mean, let me show you my chart from yesterday. This is day 1 of the thing. Just the way that it falls off all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So I get to 60 seconds on those 2. Oh no, 60 seconds there, 55, and the dramatic fall away. And at the moment, I could only get 2 beats at 208 yesterday. I couldn't get the 4. So it's that gradient that we're looking on. That's the room right here, is everything that we need to be working on. So it doesn't matter where you're at. It's just finding that limit and being really spot on with it.
Yeah.
On that note, my dear friend, let's have a look across here. There's no comments. Good. On that note, we are done for the day. Awesome. We're in definitely a really positive upward trajectory.
Yeah.
Things are starting to open up. When you're going to play, there is still a lock-up happening right at that point of articulation. So, again, we've got to figure out why. There's a just before the point of articulation, the breath attack is the way to go.
Yeah.
And then having the release from behind the tongue with nothing grabbing.
Yeah.
You'll find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what I've been doing is on the lead pipe.
Yep. There it is. Awesome.
I start the day with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
It'll filter through.
Yeah. And I find I was tiring on that last little bit.
Yeah. Sure.
I could feel that was it.
And yeah, isn't it funny? The muscles end up just going, yep, I'm done now. And as we fatigue, ironically, we start fighting and pushing harder.
Yeah.
So, okay, folks, I hope you got something out of our little trombone adventure today. And I'm going to be back tonight at 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time to do day 2 of the Windworks International Harmonic Slur Challenge. It makes me laugh every time. And next week with Greg for week 5. And that will be at 10 o'clock, so that will be the day. So there'll be more of me doing my stuff. And we keep moving. Any questions, any thoughts, queries? You can comment if you're on Facebook. You can comment if you're on YouTube. Email, any questions. And on that note, happy Monday. Is it Monday? It is happy Monday. See you tonight and have a good day. Thanks, Greg. Good on you. Safe drive back to Brisbane, my friend.